Knights take on the Parramatta Eels. The Knights and the Eels happen to be the last ever day grand final. First ever night grand final, rather. First ever night grand final. People had shifted from their regulation barbecues in the daytime. It was a long old day. Anyway, folks, let's do this. Let's try and pull it together. The big question was going to be, because we know Dom Young's not at the Newcastle Knights, at least not now. The big question was going to be, who will be on the wing? No Greg Marzu. Schiller's already there. Fletcher Hunt is the man who's won the gig. So Fletcher Hunt is the man who's won the gig there. And well done to Dane Gagai. He becomes the 57th player only ever to play 300 games.
Awesome.
How good.
And one of the most wonderful men in rugby league.
Yep.
The nicest bloke. I remember up at Origin, I hadn't never met him, and he came and said, Heidi and I were up there. He said, he just won man of the match. That's right.
Wow.
Then when he went berserk.
Not Origin.
Origin.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll get the plane home, and he had to come back for training. Must have been at South. And he came, he says, hi, boys. I'm Dane. Can I sit with you guys? Because the rest of the boys. And I went, yeah, of course, Dane.
Wow.
He just went berserk and won.
Man of the match.
Man of the match.
And still so humble.
Yeah.
Good
so
on
we
him.
said, piss off, go sit down the other end. But at least he asked.
Speaking of Origin, speaking about Origin wingers, Brian, Zach Lomax is back. Yeah. He's set to make his return from a foot injury. It's kept him sidelined since round 5. He kicked that big winner against his old team, the Dragons. So he's a straight swap with Bailey Simonson, who also has picked up a foot injury, so he's out. Jason Riles has made only one change to his forward pack. So Matty Dory, he's added to the starting side at the expense of Charlie Geimer, who's not been named in the squad. Tony Mataeli is the new man on the bench. He's in line for his NRL debut. So all the best to Tony Mataeli. Looking forward to that. This is a big game. Bulldogs take on the Roosters, Brian, 8 p.m. Accor Stadium. How does this play out?
Okay, so let's have a look at this. There's only one change to the Dogs. WG. D. P. He's not there.
P.
So the salmon is gone. The salmon's been caught. Been caught in the net. So
Weak ankle.
He's out for an extended period. So HH comes in. H for Harry, H for Hayes. He comes into the starting side. And Lukey Smith is going to be on the bench. He's making his debut. L. Smith for the Chooks. Big in. Lindsay Collins. So you forget about what the Chooks have been doing without Big Lindsay. So he has been out since round 5. He's going to be on the bench.
He wasn't expected back, Lindsay.
No, he's got the Origin bug.
Yeah.
You want that 30K.
Yeah.
You want that 30K.
That's right.
But the Chooks are flying. They seem to have worked out, I feel, like having Hugo there and Sandon, they're starting to really attack really well. At the start of the year, they had nothing.
But what about this forward pack? Spencer Leniu, Connor Watson, Nafahu White, who's arguably their best forward at the moment, Angus Crichton, Siwa Wong, Victor Radley, and then on the bench you got Egan Butcher, Blake Stoop and Lindsay Collins.
Yeah, this looks like this is the best side I feel they've put out in a long, long time, probably since 2002.
If they're fair dinkum, if you can't beat this Bulldog side, which doesn't have Satilli, which doesn't have Curran, which doesn't have, who else are they missing, Brian? Preston. If you can't beat them here on these terms, you're just not a factor.
Okay. So are you saying the Raiders aren't a factor?
Good question. Raiders are a factor.
That second half was an anomaly.
It's an anomaly.
Do you feel? Or
I think
or
so.
The 17
but you got me. You bowled me out with that one. They've got to win this. The Roosters have to win this, but they're taking on a very good side.
I'm tipping the Chooks.
Yep.
I want a bit of Chook love.
Okay, you have a bit of Chook love.
I'm not just saying that.
Denman Devil, Luke Smith.
Denman.
Familiar with Denman and the Devils?
Don't know where DD is.
Musselbrook.
Oh,
Hunter.
Oh, tough kid then. Mining kid.
Another Newcastle junior.
Another one's escaped
through the cracks.
Well, we'll speak to Andrew McFadden talking about recruitment. Let's go, Brooks.
All
Dolphins
right. Dolphins was. So there was a big in. Sorry, having trouble loading my page. There was a big in for the Warriors just to start, boys. In the pack, James Fisher-Harris has been named jersey number 8. Let me go back to the Dolphins. No changes from the team that beat the Eels last week. A little minor reshuffle in the forward pack, though. Ray Stone and Tom Gilbert have switched roles.
Okay. Sugar, what's your theory on Buffet?
Back-to-back on the road, do you mean? Or?
Yeah. Is that Warriors? They've been getting the Buffet?
Warriors last week, where were they?
Wollongong?
Yeah, so they've gone Suncorp, Wollongong, Suncorp. That's hard.
So are we back in the...
I think so.
The Dolphins?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've got to stick to your theory.
We've got to stick to it, yeah. It's paid dividends so far. Yeah, you're right. Suncorp, Wollongong, Suncorp. That's very difficult. Very, very difficult.
The other changes for the Warriors, boys. So Roger Tuivasa-Sheck's on the extended bench, so given every chance to make his season debut on Saturday. Bunty Afoa, who started prop last week, drops out of the squad. Jackson Ford has also been ruled out, suffering a concussion in the win over his former team, the Dragons. Youngster Sam Healy is the new face on the bench. He's back for Suncorp. Suncorp specialist, maybe.
He might be. We go on to the Cowboys and the Seagulls, boys. Now, the big talk would be young Jackson would go into the halves. Tourist.
Can confirm Jackson Purdue will be playing in the halves alongside Tommy Dearden.
Love it.
Zach Leiba, he comes into the centres for
that
his
too.
first game of the year since his ACL injury. And Jake Clifford, the man to drop out, he is the 18th man for the Cowboys. For the Seagulls, Jake Trebojevic has returned to his primary position of lock. He's trying to get back into the New South Wales side, of course. That means that Jazz Tavanga moves to hooker. Ethan Bullimore starts at prop. And Jake Simpkin shifts to the bench. Now, I've been very quiet for the first part of this Teamless Tuesday.
Yeah,
I've
I've
been having to do some research. I've gone to the reserves bench of the Sea Eagles this week.
Yep. Yes.
Number 21, I believe, after I've gone through every single team sheet for the past 10 weeks, is the first time making the reserves, is Joey Walsh.
Oh,
the youngster who is apparently the heir apparent to DCE.
Wow.
This is his first time, I believe.
Wow.
Seagulls fans, please tell me if I'm wrong.
I think you're right, Tourist.
First time on the reserves bench. He's made number 21. Caleb Navale, he's made the bench this week because Clayton Falala's out, so that's the...
Oh, hang on.
That's the man.
Are we seeing a June 30? Are we seeing a DCE to the Chooks? June 30. Let's get this kid in. That's a rumour Tuesday for you.
That's a rumour Tuesday if there ever was
Maybe
one.
they're just going, you know what?
You know what?
Daly, we've had enough, brother. You put us on show, we're putting you on show. Say hello, Mr. Walsh.
I could see that. I could 100% see that.
Because he played second grade last week.
Scored a try. I'm just looking here.
Yeah,
Scored
played
a try.
second grade last week, and by all reports was pretty handy. Big ask. Do you think
Most fantasy points. Now, fantasy points are just a guide, but he had the most fantasy points in the game, Joey Walsh.
Let's speak to a Manly tragic over here. Seal, what's your thoughts on DCE these last month of football?
Look, it hasn't been to the standard that we expect. It just makes me sad, Fletch, talking
Why?
about all this.
Why?
DC should finish his career at Manly.
Yeah, but he's not.
Yeah, I know.
So
but
let's
that's
move
just
on.
how I feel. You asked me how I feel. That's how I feel.
I know what I mean is, how do you feel about Joey becoming 7 and spearing DCE off to the Bondi Osbergs?
Well, I'm excited about the future, Fletch, but at the moment I'm sort of stuck in my own wallowing self-pity.
That's what Lucas said today. She
Yeah.
said she's Alex. She's Alex is always wallowing.
Hey, but boys, this dilly-dallying by Dally is causing Manly fans to have this feeling of how sad it is.
Yep.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
Just go, man. Like,
Go
poor
now.
Al.
Go
no,
now.
No, go with the announcement.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, go now if you want.
What do you think? Like, we know he's going.
It's dragging on.
Like, is there a world? It'll be a massive story. Is there a world in which, in the next 6 weeks, he becomes a team not named the Seagulls? Put it that way.
June 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that's a
there's a
story.
chance, Joel.
Do ya?
I think there's a chance.
So
that'd be a big
Brandon's
story.
gone. Dom Young's going.
Yeah.
There's your 500
Yeah.
to fill.
It's prorata.com.
We've started this rumour.
Yeah.
Run with it. Where's Sexy? Sleazy.
Who?
Sleazy Sam.
River Tuesday. We've got Joe Hockey to be
That's
the inaugural
Fridays.
chairperson for the Bears. We've got Daly going there. This is wonderful stuff.
Oh, hey, Toddy doesn't want him at the club. I reckon you could be onto something, Bears. Then I bloody don't want him at our club. Ooh. Oh, sorry, Toddy.
Imagine.
Sorry, Toddy.
He's a Roosters fan.
He's a
Imagine
Roosters
if,
fan. Sorry, Toddy.
Imagine if Dally ended up at the Bears. A Manly legend.
Oh, that would be good.
Just 1 year.
Neil Tierney did that, didn't he?
Josh Stewart.
Yeah,
Is he a Manly player?
Did Neil Tierney do that?
Did he do
Mitchell
what?
Cox. No, Mitch Brennan.
Did they do
Mitch
what?
Brennan.
What did they do?
A Manly Bear.
Manly.
Oh,
Manly
okay.
going to a Bear.
Okay.
Who else is a Manly Bear? Anyway, let's get into it.
Perry
Petherbridge.
Bosted.
Scott Petherbridge.
Yep.
Scott Petherbridge was a Bear who became a Manly side. Yes, Tourist?
That's it. That is the final. That is the fourth game of the National Rugby League for round 11.
Sharks and the Storm. What a big game this is. Sharks Stadium, Saturday night, 7:35 p.m. That's the time slot for this particular game. Sifa Talakai, he is back and on track to make his return from a concussion. He's been named on the interchange. Teague Wilton remains a chance also of completing a comeback. He's at that shoulder concern. So Talakai has replaced Tommy Hazelton, who's also got his own shoulder injury to worry about. and Oregon Kaufusi returning to the starting side as a result. All right, Melbourne Storm fans, where are you with Harold Grant? He has been listed in the reserves, so he looks to come back from a hamstring injury to prove his fitness for the Origin opener. Just one change to the 17 that absolutely crushed the West Tigers last week. Tui Kamakamitha has been named on the bench, and Nelson Asofa Solomona reverts to the reserves.
He's in the team.
So Nelson, well, according to this, he's outside the 17 at the moment.
I'll name him.
The number 21, Harold. What do you think? Or do you think
If
they
I'm Bellamy,
genuinely don't know?
If I'm Bellamy, I say no. Don't play this week because you're not playing the next week. But
Well, Bellamy's part of Laurie's team, isn't he? Sorry, mate. Sorry,
Yeah,
Billy.
put him out there.
Mate, I'd love to play him, but we've got concerns about him,
No,
and
but-
we shall not be playing him.
no, what I'm saying is,
No, I understand.
he would want him to play then if he's going to put that hat on.
Yeah.
There's a chance. I mean, Hemis can repeat themselves.
No,
Bad repeaters.
he's got the best interest for Harry Grant, regardless of origin, I would think. But I just genuinely think he's named 21, and I genuinely think there's no ducks and drapes, as Gibbo would say. D's for Drucks and
He'll play,
if he's fit. I think
Yeah.
he's genuinely got a fitness test. Do you?
and Nelson will play too. You cannot drop Nelson after what he did
But
last
why would you then not name him, though?
week. Well, maybe he likes that number 22 jersey.
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah,
That's what they did last week.
He came on
Sometimes
and
it's just-
terrorised them.
Yeah, mate, that's right. Maybe it's about the jersey.
That's the Nelson effect. I still want to go back to that. If you run last the previous year, you get Nelson for 4 games. Any game of the year. The Nelson effect.
How many
It's a
Nelsons did you
knockout.
need? Actually, I went to a coffee shop today and they had their tips. They had the tip jar and it had one gorilla, or was it 100 or 1,000 men? 100.
100 men v 1 silverback.
Yeah, so they had the 2 jars for the tips. Very clever.
Oh, you had to pick which one for your
Which
tip.
one?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I
What are
thought
they
it was very
going?
clever.
What are they going?
They'll go on the 100 men.
What was in there? How much is in there?
Oh, stacks.
Not many tips.
Absolutely stacks. Take us to the 92-93 grand finals,
Oh,
Brian.
yeah, Ricky Wolford. Was that when I just have visions of Ricky chasing the Pearl. Just couldn't get near him.
No.
Out ball from Kevy, Buzz.
Inside their own 20.
Right arm,
Bang.
fan right into the George.
Yep.
Can't beat it.
Who did he do that to? Was it Bradley or Rex
Penguin.
Turp?
I think it might have been the Penguin.
Penguin, was it?
Anyway, let's look at this. Ezra Mam is back. He's going to be playing his first game. Stop doing that. Turn
Sorry,
me
mate.
off.
Sabotage.
Sabotage. So, yeah, Ezra's in. Ben Hunt's gone with
Wow.
a hemi injury. And
Oh.
our man, Willison, he's going to be in the back row, but they swapped him last week. What's he done wrong, Willison? I don't pick Brandon Piakura. He's going okay. But anywho, Dragons,
What's all?
fantastic furniture. He's out.
Yeah, both couch
fantastic,
around.
yeah.
The lounge room is
Yeah.
bare, boys.
It is.
Yeah, the 3-seater and the 2-seater gone. The module.
Where's the Ottoman?
Where's the chaise long?
And don't you say the puff. You know, where you put your
You put your feet on.
where you put your feet on.
It's very Roy H.
Jack DeBella will come into the starting side. Blake Laurie, he's going to be the new face on the bench. Dylan Egan, he's been named the back row. And Lay Lua is on the interchange bench, but like they did on game day, they swapped. So we'll wait and see here. Oh, let's have a look. What time are we kicking off? Day game. Yeah.
This is brutal for the loser, and oof.
Oh, no alibi needed, is it, for a loser?
Oh,
UGLY.
It's so bad. A lot of L's on the Dragons bench too. But yeah, boys, no Couchman. Someone's got to step up. Loco was good in his debut last week. Hamish and Dylan Egan again was probably one of our best forwards. Mate, it's going to be a tough ask up there off the back of the Broncos' recent form. Shame Benny Hunt's not playing in this one.
I know.
And just would have been a nice little draw card
What's
with
the
this.
start? What's the start?
10.5, I think.
Oh, I'm going to have a bit of that.
Which way?
I'm having a bit of the Dragons.
Yeah, because the Broncos have been very unreliable against the line.
Terrible.
Who's your top 3, Queen and David Bowie, under pressure for this game, boys? Like, who of the players, like, not necessarily in a bad way, but just need a big one here?
What, for the Dragons or both sides?
Both sides.
Oh, mate,
Origin.
Ezra Mann.
Origin.
Ezra Mam, there's going to be
Ezra.
massive focus on him. Ezra Mam for sure.
I think there's a heap here. There's Val's goal kicking. There's the halves. Liking King Tonga has been good.
Were you happy with him last week?
Yeah, I don't mind what he's done for the first few games. I think he's given a bit more an attack in terms of creativity. than what the other boys have been doing.
Mate, seriously, the kid is taped up, and I know he's a young, talented kid, but you're playing first grade, so you are fair game, right? He's taped up like Hondo Grattan. He's taped up that much. He made 17 tackles against the Tigers, 15 against the Warriors. They're not going after him enough.
How many did he miss?
Oh, he missed a couple, but the point is, it's a big step up from New South Wales Cup to first grade. He has to make 30 plus. I can't believe that they've let him off the hook so far. They need to pepper him. And as I said, talented youngster, but you're in first grade and he's done well. They haven't really found him just yet.
Okay. Turi, was that you, Brooks?
I think, boys, Jaden Sewer's going to actually put a ball down this week and cross over against his former team.
Yeah.
I like it.
And he'll be, you'd think he'd be in the conversation of...
Yeah, Queensland.
Would he be in the back row or they're going to go for baby feet?
Maybe on the bench.
I think they're going to pick baby feet.
Big game for him.
Him and Nanai, I feel. All right, to you, Brooksy.
No. Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, Raiders Titans. Down at GIO Stadium. Shannon Boyd, shout out there. What player that played for both teams. Getting a bit old school there with our Team List Tuesday.
Mickey Wayman?
Mickey Wayman?
No, he played for the Dragons.
No.
What'd you say, Will Zillman?
Will Zillman, that's a good one.
Willie Zillman.
All right, Raiders. Zach Hosking has shifted to the second row in place of Matty Nicholson, who is set for surgery and potentially 12 weeks on the sidelines with his lower leg injury. Corey Horsburgh is set to return from his head knock suffered in Magic Round and could play his way into the Maroons jersey with a big performance. Shout out to NRL.com.
Oh, you got to give him the kudos.
Verbatim. No other changes for Ricky this week. Son of Jed is 18th man.
Did Brent Todd like the move from Canberra to Gold Coast?
There was reasons. But I think just, what was it, playing under Bob McCartney was probably...
Bob McCarthy, yeah.
He liked it up there, didn't
with
he?
The big reason.
Oh, and the Sheilers.
Yeah, and the jersey is great. Titans. No, I haven't done the Titans
yet. My
yet.
apologies.
Big return. Old Man River. Kieran Foran is set for his first match after injuring his biceps in the preseason. He's been named on the interchange bench. So the interchange is a bit of a new look interchange bench from their win against the Knights. So it's Kieran Foran, Jamin Jolliffe, Chris Randall, and Josiah Pahulu. Isaac Fa'asuamalawi is unavailable due to concussion protocols. And Philip Sami is shifting from centre to wing. Jojo Fida moving to the centre. So Desi just moving a few things around even after a win there.
Light bench. Randall and Foran. But that's sort of where the game's going. I'll tell you what, boys, after the game, Titans and the Knights, and you can understand how relieved and happy they were to get that much-needed win. I don't know Josiah Pahulu, but he screams of captain energy. Mate, he was the happiest person. He's jumping over everyone. Mate, we're going to get him on. I promise you, he's going to be a character. I promise you, Josiah Pahulu would be a great character.
Winning bonus, maybe. Match bonus.
Maybe. He was right up and about. Anyway.
West Tigers, the final game of the round. Starford Toa is on track to return for this game against the Bunnies. Charlie Staines, he keeps his place on the wing. Brent Naden's been named on the interchange bench. Knee injury due to Fanua Pole means that Royce Hunt comes into prop and Jack Bird is listed on the bench. Talon De Silva has dropped back to the reserves, unfortunately, for the West Tigers. So he's the man after the big loss that seems to have made way in the West Tigers squad. For the Bunnies, Alex Johnson, he's been named to return from the hamstring injury. He looks to get to that all-time try-scoring record. Fletcher Myers, he shifts to the reserves as a result. There are no other changes. Josh Schuster, he has been named on the extended squad again, and I feel like that's the sixth time I've said that this year.
Yep.
Boys, who's going to play first this year? Joey Walsh or Josh Schuster?
It might be Joey Walsh.
Yeah, it might be Joey Walsh.
Geez, Jai Gray was impressive. Like, he came in at 9. He's played fullback.
Yep.
He's leading the Dally M's. He's played 6 the other week, handled that with aplomb, and then they throw him in the middle. And he had Payne Haas running at him. He just aims up.
Yep.
He's a gun.
Gun. And Wayne's found a spot for him, obviously. Well done there. I think what Wayne's done with Schuster, boys, is that this has been the plan the whole time. He'd just say, Coach, we're gonna name him every single week, so when we slip him in, nobody will be aware of that. That's what he's doing. What, you're still here? Well, you can see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio, you beautiful humans.